Before we begin, I should warn you, this is a completely serious podcast.
I understand this is a completely serious podcast where only the most best podcast strategies are going to be discussed.
Right, exactly. This is Monetize This, a show about podcasting, podcast guesting, and the advice industry that's grown up around both. I'm David Beckmeyer. All right, court is now in session. This episode is about guesting. Not hosting, not launching, not monetizing your intro music. Guesting. And more specifically, why most advice about guesting stops working the moment you actually show up. Our witness today is Russell Van Brocklen. Russell doesn't host a podcast. He doesn't want a podcast. And he feels very strongly about that.
I'm dyslexic. Are you crazy? I would never do a podcast. It's too much work. I show up, I talk. You guys have work to do. I don't want anything to do with that. It's too much.
Many of us do all the work ourselves. Russell has a different approach.
I have these things called employees, and it makes things so much easier.
This will not be covered in most courses. Russell goes on a lot of podcasts, not because of a system, but because he commits a small, radical act.
So I listen to the podcast, and I'm like, yeah, I like that one. I don't like this one. And then if I like one, then I have to listen. And I really got to listen to it, and I got to find out a couple of angles. And that's what I send to you. Okay? So I've actually listened to the podcast, and I came up with a couple of angles before I submit it. If you don't do that, you're just wasting your time. That's how I do it. I don't do the typical guru stuff. And people are like, well, aren't you going to have artificial intelligence write your script and send it out? I'm like, no, because that's what we call AI slop. And you probably are inundated with it. And it doesn't work.
This next part is where the advice industry usually asks you to leave the room.
It's nothing like the gurus tell you. It's the complete opposite of what they're telling. I listen to nothing of what they say.
Just to calibrate expectations.
About 2 years ago, I was paying $140 a podcast for white glove treatment for a Nigerian medical student to set up everything on a podcast. I mean, she took care of everything. I just had to show up. It was $140 a pop. Today, I'm doing 2 podcasts. Tomorrow, I'm doing 3. I'm paying $64 a month. I'm the number 1 guest on Podmatch. Number 3 last month has been in the top 5 for the last 6 months.
No webinar required. This is usually where a funnel appears. Russell goes in a different direction.
I got 140 some odd podcasters who want me back. So once the book comes out, I'm just going to start going back in over 140 podcasts, which I've already been on. Okay, which already want me back to discuss the book. Now, what am I trying to do with that? I'm trying to become an Amazon best-selling author, but you have to be very specific. An Amazon Kindle best-selling author in this narrow sub-niche and become top 10 there. So I'll be asking the podcasters I've been on to write blurbs and to write reviews after I sell them an actual paperback to look over. It's going to be a pretty short book.
This isn't really about podcasts. It's about credibility and what happens when you earn it without asking permission.
So I created a report, and then I created what I call a max polish mode, and it's 47 pages. And people said this is far better than most people who charge for this sort of stuff. Then I polished my TEDx speech. I actually went on a podcast where it's about speaking, and it was 24 minutes. And then I got it down, but I'm not dropping $10,000. I'm just really using the advanced AI and other people that I know who review my work. But when I send them to it, they're like, you realize what you're looking at now are so minor that almost no editor would find this? I said, yes, but the TEDx reviewers are really, really tough. If they don't like one little thing, there you go. So I'm correcting it as much as I can. But I'm going to be doing a TEDx speech without dropping $10K on a consultant. But I got my start with a podcast with somebody who actually does you literally come on and give a speech. And he said I was the best one he ever had. So, complete anti-guru. The gurus are trying to tell you how to go and do this and charge you a ton of money. And I just think it's completely ridiculous.
The court finds that most guesting advice is optimized for people selling guesting advice, and occasionally for people who really like funnels. None of that is required. Russell Van Brocklen is the Dyslexia Professor. He translates structured literacy methods proven most effective for struggling readers into bite-sized actions parents can use immediately. Find him at dyslexiaclasses.com, where you can download his free guide. This has been a completely serious podcast. This is where I'm supposed to do the thing where I say, follow, monetize this wherever you get your podcasts. Well, where do you get your podcasts? I'd love to know. Let me know at monetizethispodcast@gmail.com. Hopefully, I'm in a place you can find me. Wait, you're listening, so maybe you found me. This is weird. Anyway, have fun, take care, and we'll see you next time.